Now at 9, Missouri Governor Mike Parson stops by Joplin to celebrate the completion of a bridge project. Plus, how the donation of an accessible van will help a Columbus woman continue to serve her community. And how Missouri Southern is celebrating the holidays.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Authorities in Barton County, Missouri are investigating an officer-involved shooting. Sheriff's office says it happened just before 7 this morning near Northwest 10th Road and Northwest 10th Lane. They say a man was ramming vehicles on private property. The first deputy to respond tried to stop the suspect, who then rammed the deputy's vehicle. During the incident, the suspect and deputy exchanged gunfire. The suspect was injured and flown to a hospital. The deputy was not hurt, but has been placed on paid leave per department policy as the investigation continues. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be another mild one for us today. Temperatures up into the 60s once again, like we saw yesterday. 63, 56, record high was 73, average high is 50, and that 50 mark is going to be a lot closer to where we are going to be as we head into the weekend. All right, look at the wind switching around the northwest. Cold front has been rotating through, and with it we've had some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms zooming right on by, right on out of the region. We're going to see a few random little showers for the rest of tonight, but everybody is mainly going to be dry as the bulk of this energy is staying across the northern parts of the plain. So let's go through time. I'm going to stop at midnight, a few showers, northern counties. After that, pretty quiet. We drop back into the 40s. So what about the weekend? We'll look at that here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Missouri Governor Mike Parson made a stop in Joplin today to celebrate the completion of a rural bridge, which was one of the final projects funded as part of his Focus on Bridges program. The event marked a sense of completion for the governor, who says the project started when he was still a new governor.
I think it's just pretty neat. It's kind of fun to come out here. When you think about when we first come out here and you remember starting this project, you always wonder, I was a new governor at the time, you're wondering, does this stuff really happen the way it's supposed to happen? So it's pretty neat to come out here and say we're going to do this and get this completed in a short, timely manner.
To date, 248 structures included in the Focus on Bridges program have been open to traffic. Well, a surprise for a Kansas woman came in the form of a new-to-her car. Anthony Saviolo has more on what makes her new set of wheels so special.
Tara Frazier begins her day here at the Southeast Kansas Independent Living Office, or SKILL for short. Not only is she employed here, but Tara knows what it's like to use the services SKILL provides.
She started off with employment, she got a job, she's learned how to do some self-advocacy, she's learned as she's went. Independent living is all about, empowering people, and Tara is just that.
Despite the adoration towards Tara, she remains humble.
That's hard for me to say. I mean, I've been told that, but I just look at it as I'm trying to be more of a typical person than, and do things that I've always wanted to do. Yeah.
Tara has been without her support dog, Mamba, for a few years, but has not given up on striving to be more self-sufficient.
Did he inspire you? I mean, a lot of people, they have their relationships with their dogs, and those dogs inspire them.
Yes, he very much did that.
Absolutely.
I always said he was part human because his personality was so big.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I pretended I was doing a story about SKILL and the services they provide, and I asked Tara to do an interview. But unbeknownst to her,
we may or may not have been lying to you today, and we may or may not have a surprise for you.
I don't do surprises.
We have a little bit of a surprise for you, so we would like you to come outside, and we have something to show you.
Okay.
We're going to follow you outside, all right?
Are you serious?
Serious as a heart attack, girl.
This van is a big step towards Tara living her life more independently.
That's amazing. Do you want me to get in it?
It may not replace her four-legged best pal, but it will make life for Tara so much easier. Reporting in Columbus, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Tara will now begin her journey of obtaining a driver's license. Well, U.S. Cellular today gave Pro Musica in Joplin the gift of connection, and that includes $1,000 worth of equipment to help the organization maintain its programming. Pro Musica provides free presentations of classical chamber music to the public. Officials say the donation shows their hard work is not going unnoticed. Riggs Chiropractic in Pittsburgh celebrated its 8th annual Patient Appreciation Day today. The celebration took the form of a check presentation for $20,000 to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Crawford County. The amount was in addition to the $10,000 given to the city of Pittsburgh for the miniature golf project to provide free golf to big and little matches.
We feel like when we come to work, we want to have a true purpose, like feeling not just we're showing up and helping the people we're helping, but how is our impact, creating even more of a butterfly effect to help more people out there.
Riggs Chiropractic capped off the day by collecting toys for Tots. All right. After half a century of dedicated service, the last remaining original employee at the Pittsburgh Walmart is retiring. KOAM's Fernanda Silva went to the store to show us the celebration in honor of Margaret Ashbacher's hard work.
It was a busy morning for Margaret Ashbacher, filled with pictures, smiles, and hugs. A lot of hugs. The hugs were there for a good reason. Margaret is retiring. She has been working for Walmart in Pittsburgh for longer than the store has been built. The associate started working there in December of 1973, but the Southeast Kansas location only opened a month later.
I started, it was like a totally empty building and helped price the merchandise, and the guys put the fixtures and shelves together.
Did you have any idea you would be around for so long?
Oh my God, no. Not at all. I thought, okay, I'll work here a couple of years and then maybe I'll find something better. I didn't know what it was going to even be like at that time, but I thought I'll find something different and go on. But nope, I liked it and stayed.
Margaret stayed to see a lot of changes, from moving to a different location to having technologies impact her work.
When I first started, I was a checker, and just the registers now are totally different. Everything's different. You can scan yourself out, or you can, I don't know, it's just totally different.
Marlon Weston also saw some of these changes. He worked with Margaret for more than 15 years.
I was asking someone, does anybody know how many people have worked for Walmart for an entire 50 years? And I only know of one, and that's her.
According to her co-workers, her fun energy will be missed at the store.
Her spirit and the way that she has treated people is carried on to a lot of other people. And so, I think we're going to continue to see a lot of people that carry those characteristics because of Margaret and how she was over the last 50 years at our store.
While she says her co-workers are like family and that she will stop by the store often to visit, there's one thing she won't miss.
I'm not going to miss having to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning anymore.
Here is your retirement embracing the joy of sleeping in. And of course, embracing the joy of warm hugs. In Pittsburgh, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Well, in case you were wondering, that big check Margaret Ashbacher received is worth 50,000 thank yous. She now plans to enjoy her retirement with her grandkids and watching Netflix. Well, Mrs. Jones's catering class cooked up some ballpark food today with the help of the Mrs. Washburn's sports and entertainment marketing classes. The competition took place in the community room at the Carthage Tech Center. 16 different baseball-themed teams competed with 16 different items. For the competitors, the event provided a chance to show off some big league skills.
We here at the Tech Center love project-based assignments, like getting hands-on experience, being able to work with teams, is going to get them ready outside of the high school experience, because you're going to work in that co-curricular environment.
The overall marketing winner went to the KC Royals team with barbecue pizza. Overall food winner, though, went to the Padres jalapeno popper pigs in a blanket. Coming up, what new research shows about how preterm birth can impact the development of a child. A new study suggests children born between 32 and 38 weeks of gestation are more likely to have developmental disorders compared to babies born at full term. British researchers reviewed data from 75 countries involving 8 million births. They discovered children born preterm experienced language delays, ADHD, cerebral palsy, and cognitive impairment at higher rates. Well, expansive new research finds more than a third of women globally experience lasting health problems caused by childbirth. The study examined health problems arising or continuing 6 weeks after childbirth. The most common complication is pain during sex, which affects more than a third of postpartum women. Nearly a third experience low back pain. The study says the conditions are often neglected and ignored. Well, women who have C-sections may have a more difficult time conceiving future children. Researchers in Norway examined 42,000 pregnancies. They found women who had prior C-sections had a 10% decreased chance of conceiving at a specific time compared to women who had prior natural deliveries. Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, the Chiefs square off against the Buffalo Bills this Sunday. Voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, explains how the Chiefs defense can put pressure on Bills quarterback Josh Allen.
Well, of course, another mild one for us today. Temperatures right back up into the 60s again. So 2 days in a row that we've had 60s and really pretty good temperatures over the past couple days. A lot of clouds out there right now, still breezy, but a nice shot Friday night on the big town, of course, Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex looking northeast. Downtown Joplin. Looks pretty good, but we've had some scattered showers and thunderstorms kind of zooming through, pushing out of the region. Of course, none of these were very strong, but some of you at least got some rain over the past few hours. Now, by midnight, just a few leftover showers in our northern counties. Besides that, it's pretty quiet for us tonight. We clear out late, temperatures start to drop back into lower 40s for overnight lows. Now, the winds are switching around out of the north. They've been out of the south all day long, but a cold front has shifted through, and the winds are going to be kind of breezy once again as we go into the weekend. Those northwesterly winds, not as windy, but still northwesterly winds at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Then they start to calm down a bit as we go into Sunday. Through the night, tonight, we're going to be dropping back near 40. Start the day with sunshine, about 46 by 10 a.m. as this wave rotates out of the region. But here's an interesting factor. A good chunk of the energy is up north across parts of Minnesota. Another big chunk of energy is dropping out of Colorado. But if we widen the vantage point, the two chunks of energy are kind of splitting around us. So that's why we only got a few scattered showers and a few scattered thunderstorms throughout the evening hours for us tonight. All right, let's go into Saturday morning. I'll stop at about 6 o'clock in the morning. Temperatures lower 40s. We'll have mostly clear skies. We're going to have partly sunny skies as we go through the afternoon. By noon, temperatures into the mid 40s. Most of us pushing 50. 48 in Nevada, 49 in Neosho, 50 in Miami, Pittsburgh up to 48. Parsons up to 48 degrees for us tomorrow. Tomorrow night's going to be colder. We slide back into the upper 20s, so pretty hard freeze as we go into Sunday morning. And then by Sunday afternoon, it looks, okay, partly sunny skies, still chilly with high temperatures into the mid 40s. So if we break down your weekend, 49 tomorrow, 45 Sunday, chilly and windy, cold tomorrow night, and then cool again on Sunday. But we will rebound back into the 50s for highs by the time Monday and Tuesday roll around. All right, 49 tomorrow, 45 Sunday, 54 on Monday, 56 on Wednesday. Rain chances back in by next Friday. And if we can get enough cold air with it, we could mix with or change over to a little bit of snow next weekend. Still a long ways away, but something we'll keep our eyes on. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, folks in Jasper, Missouri took care of some Christmas shopping today. The 12th annual Jasper Christmas Market brings together local businesses, vendors, and food trucks for a hop and shop block party. It also featured a Christmas parade. Coming up, AI in unlikely places.
AI could be coming to a grocery store near you. I'm Madison Allworth in New York. This is the Caper Cart, and we're going to take it for a spin after this.
Hoping to use that Christmas bonus for some extra holiday shopping? Well, inflation could be the reason why some bonuses will look different this year. A new survey from the Freedom Economy Index found that 42% of small business owners say they cannot afford to give out bonuses this year like they usually do. While 28% say they'll be giving smaller ones. Business owners blame stubborn inflation. Well, you can check AI off your grocery list. Instacart's AI-powered Smart Cart, the Caper Cart, is rolling out at select grocery stores. Fox Business correspondent Madison Allworth takes a look at the new tech.
Online grocery delivery company Instacart is bringing the AI experience to the grocery store. This is Caper Cart. We got to take it for a spin. I'm at Fairway Market and I have the new Caper Instacart Smart Cart, AI powered. I got David here with me. David, I got big plans tonight. I'm thinking spaghetti and meatballs. Can you help me shop?
Excellent. Let's go shopping.
What is this cart going to be able to do when I pick up my pasta?
So the cart is equipped with a number of sensors, camera sensors pointing at the basket as well as a weight sensor, and it's the fusion of those sensors in our AI-powered technology that enables the cart to recognize items directly as you drop them in the cart and then place the item on the screen so you can keep track of your spending.
I'm going to put this in here. Look at that. That is amazing. That is so cool. You have your total as well as your savings. Tell me about the scale system in the cart.
You hit the Add Produce button, and then you have two choices. You can either type in the code or the name of the product.
All right, we got it. Beef steak tomato, okay. And now I'm going to put it in, and it'll weigh it right here.
That's right. We'll weigh it directly in the cart, and you can see just how sensitive the scale is as it weighs the tomato.
Talking about grabbing their bags and go, I think I'm ready to check out. Should we do it?
Wonderful. Let's do it.
We are all set. That was exceptionally easy and incredible to see in action. Next step is obviously making the dinner. Any chance that the AI could help me with that?
That's coming up.
Customers tell us that one of their favorite features is the running total on the screen. They're able to budget and make decisions while they're shopping rather than at the checkout line. In New York, I'm Madison Allworth, Fox Business.
It's almost like checking out twice. Well, up next, Missouri Southern goes all out to give students some holiday fun ahead of finals. Missouri Southern is getting into the holiday spirit with several activities. It's all part of the university's Holiday Happenings event. There was a craft fair, ice skating, carriage rides, food trucks, and even an appearance by Santa himself.
It's super important because MSSU is, just such a staple in the community. And so, of course, we love to support and reach out to people in the 4 states all the time. And getting to have them here on our campus and celebrate the holidays with us is it's so special, and getting to help people make memories that hopefully they'll cherish for a lifetime.
And the night was capped off with a viewing of the classic movie, A Christmas Story, one of my favorites. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. How legal battles involving presidential frontrunners are making for an unusual election. Plus, the United Nations calls for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza as fighting between Israel and Gaza rages on. You're watching the 4 states' most watched news. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. As the race for the White House heats up, so are the legal battles that could play out alongside the next presidential election. Fox's Madeline Rivera has more from Washington.
In a new podcast, Hunter Biden is slamming the Republican attacks against him as an effort to destroy a presidency.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to kill me, knowing that it will be a pain greater than my father could be able to handle.
Despite casting the blows against him as partisan, a federal grand jury indicted him on new tax charges, 3 felonies and 6 misdemeanors. This time, federal prosecutors accused the president's son of willfully avoiding to pay at least $1.4 million in taxes between 2016 and 2019. Among the expenses they say he made instead, $683,000 for payments to various women, $397,000 for clothing and accessories, and roughly $500,000 on health and beauty products and other retail purchases. The case could coincide with President Biden's 2024 campaign, as House Republicans ramp up their efforts to probe his family's business dealings.
Why was he paid millions of dollars from people in Russia, China, Romania, Ukraine?
So far, they found no evidence of wrongdoing by the president. Still,
this will be a log on the fire. The fire may not actually reach the door of the White House, but the Republicans will try and depict it as such.
GOP presidential primary frontrunner former President Donald Trump is returning to the legal spotlight too. On Monday, he'll be back on the stand in New York City for the civil trial in which he's accused of inflating the value of his assets to get favorable loans from banks.
This case should have never been brought. This was a political witch hunt.
On Friday, the White House repeated the president won't pardon his son if he's convicted. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
The U.S. Border Patrol chief says his agency is overwhelmed along the southern border. Jason Owens says some migrant facilities are at 200 to 300% capacity, and more people are awaiting arrest. He says his agency apprehended 192,000 migrants just last month. Owens adds that he's frustrated his agency had to close 2 ports of entry to reassign staff. Arizona Governor Katie Dobbs says she shares that frustration. A resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza fails to pass a vote today by the United Nations Security Council. The United States, the only member voting against the resolution. This as the Israeli offensive in Gaza continues, which the UN says is detrimental to aid operations. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Palcott has the latest from Sirdat, Israel.
Israeli defense forces bearing down in southern Gaza, attacking the area from land, air, and sea. The IDF says 450 Hamas targets have been hit in Gaza over the last 24 hours. That includes a massive ground operation in Khan Yunis, where troops could be seen going house to house. 2 more soldiers have been killed, bringing the IDF casualty toll to 94 since this phase of the war began. In Gaza, civilians taking battering as well in areas that were once considered safe havens. Nearly 2 million civilians there have been forced to flee during the last 2 months of fighting. The United Nations Security Council meeting Friday as the Secretary General warns of an impending human catastrophe in the region.
There is a high risk of the total collapse of the humanitarian support system in Gaza, which would have devastating consequences.
Guterres saying the delivery of humanitarian aid to the region is becoming nearly impossible and is calling for an immediate ceasefire in the region to protect civilians. While the U.S. does not support a ceasefire, it has warned Israel that it must do more to limit civilian casualties. The Hamas-run health ministry putting the death toll there at more than 16,000 since the war began.
We will continue pressing for the protection of civilians as Israel pursues legitimate military objectives.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken says that the U.S. is not setting a deadline for Israel, but it is expecting major fighting to be over there by early January. In Sderot, Israel, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
A bit later, a McDonald's makeover.
McDonald's has opened its first ever spin-off restaurant in a Chicago suburb. We got to try some of the food. It aims to compete with Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks. We'll tell you how they're doing it coming up.
Well, of course, another mild one for us today. Temperatures right back up into the 60s again. So 2 days in a row that we've had 60s and really pretty good temperatures over the past couple days. A lot of clouds out there right now, still breezy, but a nice shot Friday night on the big town, of course, Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex looking northeast, downtown Joplin. Looks pretty good, but we've had some scattered showers and thunderstorms kind of zooming through, pushing out of the region. Of course, none of these were very strong, but some of you at least got some rain over the past few hours. Now, by midnight, just a few leftover showers in our northern counties. Besides that, it's pretty quiet for us tonight. We clear out late, temperatures start to drop back into lower 40s for overnight lows. Now, the winds are switching around out of the north. They've been out of the south all day long, but a cold front has shifted through, and the winds are going to be kind of breezy once again as we go into the weekend. Those northwesterly winds, not as windy, but still northwesterly winds at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Then they start to calm down a bit as we go into Sunday. Through the night, tonight, we're going to be dropping back near 40. Start the day with sunshine, about 46 by 10 a.m. as this wave rotates out of the region. But here's an interesting factor. A good chunk of the energy is up north across parts of Minnesota. Another big chunk of energy is dropping out of Colorado. But if we widen the vantage point, the two chunks of energy are kind of splitting around us. So that's why we only got a few scattered showers and a few scattered thunderstorms throughout the evening hours for us tonight. All right, let's go into Saturday morning. I'll stop at about 6 o'clock in the morning. Temperatures lower 40s. We'll have mostly clear skies. We're going to have partly sunny skies as we go through the afternoon. By noon, temperatures into the mid 40s. Most of us pushing 50, 48 in Nevada, 49 in Neosho, 50 in Miami, Pittsburgh up to 48, Parsons up to 48 degrees for us tomorrow. Tomorrow night's going to be colder. We slide back into the upper 20s, so pretty hard freeze as we go into Sunday morning. And then by Sunday afternoon, it looks, okay, partly sunny skies, still chilly with high temperatures into the mid 40s. So if we break down your weekend, 49 tomorrow, 45 Sunday, chilly and windy, cold tomorrow night, and then cool again on Sunday. But we will rebound back into the 50s for highs by the time Monday and Tuesday roll around. All right, 49 tomorrow, 45 Sunday, 54 on Monday, 56 on Wednesday. Rain chances back in by next Friday. And if we can get enough cold air with it, we could mix with or change over to a little bit of snow next weekend. Still a long ways away, but something we'll keep our eyes on. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Doug. Looking forward to a nice week. Well, coming up in sports, a preview of Sunday's Bills-Chiefs game and this week's edition of the Minute with Mitch. Plus highlights from tonight's basketball doubleheader between Girard and Galena. John Dales has that and more up next.
Big news for Pitt State football tonight. Gorilla quarterback Ty Pennington announces he has entered the transfer portal. Pennington was a backup to Chad Dodson for the entire 2023 season, but played more and more as the year went on. He saw action in every game the Gorillas played, including one start in the final week of the regular season. He accounted for more than 800 all-purpose yards of offense. Galena and Girard boys and girls basketball meet for the first time this evening, each side trying to start the 23-24 conference schedule on a strong note. In the CNC tonight, Galena girls hoops on the road facing Girard. Early in the first quarter is where we pick this one up. Girard gets things started with a missed three, but Erica Boatman gets the putback for two. Later on in the first, Riley Boyles gets this one to go off the glass and in. Nice shot there. Next Galena possession, Morgan Strong. She calls glass, banks it in for a three-pointer. Galena down by 12 at that point though, but Girard starts to get red hot. Hayden Buckley from the corner, she drains the three. She finished with a game-high 16 points in this one, late in the first half now. Kaylee David from the corner. She gets that one to go through. We go ahead to the second half. Peyton Brooks gets the steal, goes all the way in for the layup on the other side. All Girard in this one. Trojans win 75-25. Now to the boys' game between Galena and Girard. Full gym taking this one in. Jack Perry gets the game started with a pull-up jumper. That one rattles around the rim and in for the Bulldogs on the other end. Girard answers with a three. Colton Dressler knocks it down to give Girard the early lead. Despite losing a lot of seniors last year, Galena hanging around, looking good early. Jack Perry passes to Lincoln Kimberling, who finished the layup. That tied it later in the quarter. Thatcher Botkin with a nice pass from the baseline, and Jack Perry hits the three. Bulldogs leading by 3, but Girard starts to settle in. Aiden Troik gets the layup with 3 defenders surrounding him in the closing minutes of the half, and then it's Troik again, this time hitting the mid-range jumper. Girard pulls away in the second half. Trojans go on to beat Galena 53-41. Meanwhile, Carl Junction boys hoops across state lines in Pittsburgh, taking on the Purple Dragons. Pittsburgh starts this game in a groove. Mason English sets up Jaden Brown for an open jumper from the top of the key. He drains the three-pointer. More of the same from English. Beautiful feed down low to Nate Mitchell for the layup. Purple Dragons taking an early 9-1 lead. Carl Junction hanging around though. Deacon Endicott with a tough finish on the layup through the teeth of the defense. Then Cooper Vidiz hits the baseline floater. Bulldogs fell behind by 17 in the first half though. And as we see Pittsburgh back on offense again, Mason English again with a nice feed, but Carl Junction rallies in the second half, earning a huge road win. Final score 66-62. Now this Sunday, the Chiefs host the Bills, who have struggled to a 6-6 record to this point in the year. One way the defending Super Bowl champs can help their cause by putting pressure on Buffalo QB Josh Allen. More on that in this week's Minute with Mitch.
Special thanks this week to my man Tech9 for the gear. Hey, whose day isn't better when you hear Red Kingdom? The Chiefs are hoping that they have a better day Sunday against the Buffalo Bills. One hope is cornerback Trent McDuffie's never played against Buffalo. The Chiefs' second-year corner has been dynamic. As a pass rusher, I've never seen a corner that rushes the quarterback like an edge rusher. McDuffie has 2 sacks, an NFL league-leading 5 forced fumbles, and an incredible 15 quarterback pressures. Usually a DB on a blitz looks like a newborn giraffe at the zoo. They're all excited, but not much happens. Not with McDuffie. Controlled speed, target point, desire to affect a play and not just get a sack has been powerful for this Chiefs defense. A secret weapon, Trent McDuffie, on this Minute with Mitch. The Minute with Mitch is brought to you by Como Jewelry. Every day's game day, Como Jewelry, Pittsburgh, Joplin.
That's all for sports. Back with more news after this.
McDonald's is opening a new spin-off chain called Cosmix. Fox Business correspondent Kelly Sabiri is at the first Cosmix in Illinois with more.
McDonald's has its first ever spin-off of its restaurants called Cosmix here first in a suburb of Chicago called Bolingbrook, and they're trying to compete with Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts locations around the country, doing something they call beverage exploration. There's different kinds of foods and drinks like the turmeric spice latte, the s'mores cold brew, and the island pick-me-up punch, among many others. And there's also 2 breakfast sandwiches that you won't find on the original McDonald's menu. We spoke to people who have came from around the suburbs here, but also from far and wide, including one person who came from London. Take a listen.
The second I found out that McDonald's were launching their new biggest thing, I had to get a flight here. Us Londoners, we love McDonald's, and this is really cool. This is like the new Starbucks, the new Dunkin'. It's great.
I think this is just a great opportunity for Bolingbrook. You know, I mean, it's a lot of nearby suburbs that could have been a good fit. So, I mean, the fact that they chose us is pretty great.
It's kind of got the cool colors, right, and all the bright lights and all that type. I mean, you look at the menu and it's like, wow, it's good.
Each sandwich is supposed to cost about $5 and the drinks between $5 to $6. Reporting in Bolingbrook, Illinois, Kelly Saberi, Fox Business.
Makes me hungry for breakfast. Coming up, how folks in Kansas City can help provide babies in the NICU with human connection. If you love babies, and who doesn't, this might be the volunteer gig for you. Hospitals across the country bring in helpers to cuddle newborns. Alan Shope has a look at this program in Kansas City, Missouri.
What's the name? Olivia, I like that.
It's a volunteer job that really hits you in the right spot.
Right up here on my heart.
But for recently retired and widower Bob McElwain, it's about so much more.
This is what I do for as long as I can.
Bob is part of the St. Luke's NICU Cuddlers program, a group of volunteers who spend a few hours every week holding babies.
They ran us through the training, what to do, what not to do, how to hold the babies.
And cuddle them, even talk to them.
We talk about the stock market, politics, which is guaranteed to put them to sleep.
A lot of our babies are born small, premature, so weight gain is a huge thing for us. Of course, brain development as well. And cuddling absolutely supports all those things.
She's smiling.
Some newborns can spend months at the hospital, and mom and dad can't always be there to cuddle.
They're already dealing with enough. They just need to sleep. So that's what I try to get them to do.
Bob says he spends up to 3 hours a week at the hospital cuddling babies, and sometimes that whole 3 hours is just one baby.
Best 3 hours of my week.
They provide a lot for families. I know our child loves getting cuddled, so.
Oh, hi. We're going to wake up. And if I talk to them for a little bit, they will go to sleep.
Yeah.
I have that effect on people.
Sounds like the perfect gig. That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of tiny foxes at a zoo in the UK. Have a great night and an even better weekend.